Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of VeVe Comic Talk. It's Tuesday, September 27th. Today, we're going to take a quick look at the market, which is down in both comics and collectibles. And we're going to talk a little bit about networking and latency, how that affects drops, and the queue system. So let's get right to the spreadsheet. Of the comics we're looking at, we have 51 up, 60 down, 39 even. The averages have gotten a little better since yesterday, where we have 43 up, 107 down. So if we look at the averages, yesterday we hit a low since the 21st, where we only had 34 comics up. The collectibles are in the same boat, where we have 22 up, 29 down, 12 even. The thing about the markets being down, it's more heavily weighted in some of the A-rank comics. So let's take a quick look at Amazing Fantasy 15, the common. This is it right here. You see we have support here at around 400, resistance at just under 600. This formation here that you see here is a descending triangle. It's actually two, one up here coming down this way, but I'm drawing the descending triangle within the channel here. So we should see a breakout very soon. As we are consolidating, as we are getting closer to support. There's no indication as to which way the breakout will occur. The breakout can occur to the upside, in which it will test resistance. But if it breaks to the downside, there's no telling how low this will go. I would guess that we would see, and it's just speculation because there's no previous indication of where it is, but usually it's going to be at big numbers, so the next level of support will probably be at 350 or 300 if Amazing Fantasy breaks to the downside out of this descending triangle pattern. Let's take a look at some of the things that I've bought and sold. So today I've only bought two things, the Sergeant Fury, the Uncommon, and the Young Avengers 12, basically for the mint numbers. Well, for the Young Avengers and Sergeant Fury, I sold off my Uncommon, so I reestablished my position there. I've sold a number of comics, also the Young Avengers 12. I flipped out of my higher mint numbers again into the lower mint number. Vengeance number 1, Amazing Spider-Man Annual 16, and Strange Tales 180, the Gamora. That's been a good trade for me. So let's get right to the topic of the day, which is networking, latency, and drops. So to give you some background, I am in the computer IT industry. I design and implement enterprise cloud applications. And let me kind of show you how I'm looking at this. So in Windows, this is called the command prompt. So when I ping the website app.vv.me, it returns various IP addresses, and it's kind of random. So how this will return is based on this. So VeVe exists on the AWS infrastructure. They haven't provided it, well, rightly so. They're not going to tell us how they're fully designed, but their application, I'm guessing, is fronted by what's called a content delivery network in Amazon, or a CDN called CloudFront. And there are various edge devices on the AWS network. So the CloudFront Global Edge Network is you can see the map here. These are where their edge devices are. The further you get for the edge device, like we're in Hawaii here, you can see there's no edge device, so we have to travel from here to here. I've been randomly pinging these, the app.vv.me, and in general, it's responding out of Oregon and out of Japan. So it's really random, mostly out of Oregon. So how you can tell where you are, oops, it's when you do your ping, and this is a new IP address for me, so this is going to be kind of new. You can go to a site called iplocation.net, and you can punch in that IP address. So in this case, I moved it off screen so I can see it, 54.192.76.82. You do an IP lookup, and it tells you where that's at, and that's in Oregon. So this is a new IP address out of Oregon. So I can take this IP address here, and I can go to this website, which is ping.pe. I'll put the link in the description below. And I'm going to put that IP address in there and hit go. And what this will do is it will run pings from various places across the world to the site in Oregon. So if you look here at what my response time for coming from Hawaii, my average response time is 56 milliseconds. But if you look up here, so if I'm pinging from in Canada and Vancouver, Fremont, whatnot, almost everyone other than Chicago, it would be less than the average time from Hawaii. So what does this mean? This means that all of your clicking and timing and stuff means absolutely nothing. Because, for example, if I'm in Seattle and my edge network is only 11 milliseconds away, it doesn't matter how fast I press the button, I have a roughly 5-fold advantage of me pressing the button at the same time in Hawaii. And to give you an idea, this is in milliseconds. So to give you an idea, the human brain for visual recognition takes 0.25 seconds of time to react. So we're talking in tens of seconds, and this is in thousands of seconds. So, it's 100-fold difference. So from what your brain sees to what your finger can do to how actually the network runs. Now, this doesn't mean that in Chicago that they're at a disadvantage from Seattle. And the reason for that is, let's go back to the map, is there are other edge devices here closer to Chicago. So if you're in Chicago and you do the same thing, you ping app.vv.me, just like I did here, you'll get a different set of IP addresses because one of these other edge devices will pick it up. You can punch your numbers in here to get what your times would be. So now, what exactly does this mean? This means that places closer to an edge device have an advantage. So to give you an idea, so this is what some of the bots did, and this is actually, to me, a flaw in the application programming for VeVe. So one of the bot strategies is they accounted for latency, and they sent the response. Like, the response would be when I click the buy now button. When the buy now button appears, and when I click the buy now button, it sends a response to saying I clicked the buy now button. So what some of the bots were doing is they were calculating latency and sending the response actually before the buy now button appeared. Now, I've never used a bot on VeVe. Have I used bots on other things? Yes, I've used bots trading crypto, and I've used bots on eBay, and that's another story probably for my next video. So that's a flaw that, for example, that people using a bot can send a response. They're using the checking the latency, so they're sending the response prior to the button appearing. So what is the solution to this? In my opinion, and I've stated in the past, the solution is the queuing system. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about the queuing system in probably my next video. But here's actual facts and numbers as to how all of this works. Now, where the main database servers are for VeVe, that's unknown. This CloudFront basically is that. It is a front for your cloud infrastructure, what data center the main application servers and the main database servers in, and where they're I hope they have a backup, a high availability pair somewhere else. Where they are in the world is unknown. I'm guessing it's going to be in the US, but that's just my guess. I have no facts to prove it. So these are some things you can do to test your connection and see what your latency is like. I've talked to a number of people in Hawaii and that are VeVe collectors, and on high interest 10,000 mint drops. So far, no one has said that they've been able to get it, and it's because you're at, again, going back to this, we're at a 5-fold disadvantage. So you have to, one of the things to remember is, if you look at it and you can see it for yourself, is if you compare your phone app with your web app, you'll notice that the countdown clock isn't always in sync. And it's the same for the clock on your computer. It's super close, but it's not thousandths of a second close, because there is this delay. I call it the speed of light problem. So to get from Hawaii to our nearest edge, which would be in either Oregon or Southern California, in Silicon Valley, we have to traverse the Pacific Ocean. So that takes time, even though it's in milliseconds. So you can practice all you want, but remember, the human brain, for visual recognition, works at 0.25 seconds. And we're talking milliseconds here. It's not gonna do much of anything. If you're in Hawaii and you can practice all you want, it's just a waste of time. So again, to me, the solution to this problem is a queue system, and I will talk more about the queue system and about bots in my next video. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I will put a link to these websites in the description. Try them out for yourself. And this is a very high-level look at how networking and latency works, how you can test it. And again, we also looked at the market, which is slightly down. And just to get back to that, I think we are in a very critical time. Pay attention here. This descending triangle is very important pattern, because it does signal that a breakout will occur, but it doesn't say, it's not going to tell you where the breakout's going to be. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Really appreciate your if you leave a comment. I really enjoy talking to you guys in the comments and on Twitter. Thanks for watching, and aloha.